6 weeks from now, it will be legal to consume cannabis, but questions remain about its long-term impact. Richard Hutzman is a pediatric neurologist at the U of S, a member of CRIS, the Cannabinoid Research Initiative of Saskatchewan. Richard, thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Richard, what is your research focused on?
So, as a member of CRIS, I'm a pediatric neurologist, so my areas of research interest revolve around the use of cannabis-based therapies to treat children with refractory epilepsy, but also I'm interested in the effects of cannabinoid exposure and brain development as well, in particular prenatal cannabis exposure.
How new is this research here in Saskatchewan?
From this research study, myself and my colleagues, because we required the expertise of not just clinicians like myself, but basic scientists and pharmacologists, and from that we realized that we really, we need a multidisciplinary approach to cannabis research. And about 2 years ago, we decided that we would form a research group based out of the University of Saskatchewan to answer questions about the medicinal use of cannabis products, not just in pediatrics for epilepsy, but also for things such as dementia and other medicinal applications, including veterinary medicinal applications as well.
What are you hoping to achieve with CRIS?
Well, I think really the goal of CRIS is to provide unbiased evidence, for the use of medicinal cannabis, in particular when it's appropriate, and also, as importantly, when it's not appropriate. We need to understand how the different cannabinoids in cannabis work, because when people talk about medicinal cannabis, we talk about the two main biologically active compounds called THC, which is the psychoactive compound which gives you a high, but also cannabidiol, which is a non-psychoactive compound which people are looking at mostly for epilepsy, etc., and that's what we're using predominantly in our study. But there's over 120 of these compounds, and we really have a very limited understanding how any of them work. So as CRIS, what we're hoping to achieve is unbiased, evidence-based research for the use of these products, so that physicians and other healthcare providers, as well as patients themselves, can make the best choices about whether or not this is a suitable treatment for them.
Richard, thanks so much for your time and good luck with your research.
Well, thank you very much for having me.